Childhood trauma. Another day. Another beautiful day. A question I've been asked a lot is, how do I deal with childhood trauma? And that's become my favorite question to answer so I can give people equipment to handle what they've been through and not neglect it. And the first word I want to start with is awareness. It's actually saying, I've been through something and it affects me. No matter how deep you want to say it is, we're going to start with the word awareness. To recognize that you've been through something that has an effect on who you are today. You are a collection of your experiences, good, bad, or indifferent. You are a collection of your experiences. And the ones that you tend to neglect are the ones that leave you empty. And we want to work to be complete. We're not looking for perfection. I'm going to cover that today because it's confusion between completeness and perfection. They're not the same thing. I don't want you to aim to be perfect, but I do say you can aim to be complete. And complete is understanding that I may have been through this, but it doesn't hinder my growth going forward. The only time that traumatic things become detrimental is when you ignore them and think they'll go away because you get money or status or you can grow out of them. Now, traumas are tricky because they grow with you. And the first thing you need to do is shed light on it, because when you're aware of something, you know how to tackle it. But if you turn your back to it, you don't know what it's doing behind you. If I'm going through something and I see the snake right here, I'd rather have the snake in my vision than to close my eyes and say, okay, I'm gonna ignore it. Now I don't know where it's at. Let's say snakes are problems. If I can see a snake presently in my face, I have the privilege of knowing where it is. And some people be so afraid of their problems, they won't even look at them. And when you're not looking at something, it gives it the advantage of going anywhere in your blind spot, and it comes up randomly. So I want you to be brave enough as we have these conversations to look at what you've been through with curiosity and not judgment. Hello. So when I say without judgment, I don't want you to look back and say, I've been through this, so it makes me this. What your past is constantly your past, unless you keep reliving it and you allow it to be your future. Everything can be your past. If you've been through it, the beautiful option is to actually go through it and to get through it. But I know how dark and hurtful life can get sometimes, and I've been through my share. So I give you my first trauma is, it took me a long time to learn how to celebrate myself. Birthdays, accomplishments. If anybody else in life has had that feeling of you keep speeding past things, you cannot sit in something that you do well. You just got to keep going, keep going. I'm gonna tell you how that applies to me. When I was younger, it was a few factors in life that were always bigger than my accomplishments. If I got all A's, you're supposed to do that, right? You dig what I'm saying? You're supposed to, these things turn into regularities. They become mundane. So that's how I learned how to treat my accomplishments. If my parents didn't shine light on them, I wasn't gonna do it either. So I turned it into a thing where I'm constantly going, I'm running, just, I'm not looking back. Okay, I did this, good, next. And that put me in a pattern where I stopped learning how to celebrate myself. It took me, I'm 29. I can tell you honestly, I probably remember 4 birthdays in my whole life. And that's a thing where my birthday just became a day to me. It became business. It became the next day before the next day. And that was a horrible place to be, but it became my reality. And that is the thing that trauma can do if left unhealed, if left unacknowledged. It will become your normality and you will make it a regular thing. You will think it's cool. I'll be completely transparent and say drugs had a very interesting segue in my life with my family. And drugs came in and did a number. It came in without no care in the word. It came through. I didn't know how to celebrate myself. And it took friends like, hey bro, your birthday coming up, what you got planned? Nothing. How many times have you said, oh, I ain't doing nothing for my birthday? But that's a direct correlation to you thinking it's nothing. Even if you say it's just regular, no, it stems from something. It stems. And I got so used to being just blending in, I was afraid or I was reluctant to stand out. I did not know how to make anything about me. Like my birthday, I couldn't even make that about me. I made it about other people. You know what I'm saying? But deep down, my inner child wanted a celebration. Deep down, my inner child wanted a celebration, and my adult self was neglecting a piece of me that was missing. And to get back to the puzzle of trauma, it's parts of you that are left void. It's holes within you, not physical, you know what I mean? It's mental holes in your understanding. And you're gonna try to fill them with money, status. You're gonna try to outgrow them and neglect them, but it doesn't make you complete. Now, to be complete is to have understanding about what you've been through. When I started the journey of working on my traumas, I had to learn how to talk to my inner child. So when I went back in time and talked to my younger self, I would talk to him at his height. I didn't want to be over him. Only thing I did was brought my adult reasoning to the childhood circumstance that he couldn't understand. So let's see, for example, I would take away the personal blame from what I was going through. You dig what I'm saying? So I would reach back to him and give him new understanding based on me now so I can heal in my adult self. You know what I'm saying? So I can heal in my adult form because I need him to have understanding of what was going on. And I need to take away all the blame that I placed on myself for the family not working, for them not celebrating me, for anything of that nature. I had to learn that it wasn't me specifically. It was different lives intertwining. I made my own realities based on my confusion. My parents did not fill in the blank, so they left me to fill in with my childhood understanding, which would lead me to a place of self-blame. I blame myself for a lot of things. Oh, okay, I must not be good enough. You know what I'm saying? Even though that wasn't looking back, that was not what it was, but I thought as a child. You know what I'm saying? And we have to respect and know how we thought. That's why I said I couldn't reach back with judgment. I had to see me where I was, 12 years old, 13, 14, even younger, whatever age I was at, that time and space in life, I had to assess my mindset and see it from his eyes to respect it and actually help a younger version of me that was looking for understanding in the sense of I had to be okay with making a day about me. Back to when I said it felt like everything in life always overshadowed the biggest things in my life were outshined by drugs and family circumstances. It was bigger things going on. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of felt like I faded to the background of the circumstances I was dealing with. I personally felt because I wasn't really celebrated, it had to be bigger than me. But you see how childhood understanding, we often end up in the self-blame realm where, okay, if it's not working and nobody's telling me what's going on, you leave me only room to assume. And my job as the older version of me is to go back in time and talk to my younger self and take away the assumptions and place what the real reality was so I can free myself of that guilt or that self-blame. That is how I traverse through my traumas. My mom and dad had me when they was 15. 15. And I cannot imagine, through my logic now, me as an adult, I cannot imagine having a child at 15, still being a child and having to raise a child. I had to release them from being perfect. I had to see them as human first. That gave me the space to receive all the things. It gave me the room to take them off the pedestal of being Superman and Superwoman. Just my mom and my dad. It was Cherie and Kane. I saw you as your name first. I let you be imperfect and realized that everything you did was not a direct correlation to me. You did your best. And I have to live with that. I have to be okay with you doing your best. You know what I'm saying? That was a big piece for me. Me and my mom had a rocky relationship for a long time because the drugs had her out of her mind. It wasn't her. But me as a young boy, I couldn't differentiate that drugs took her out of her mind and it was the drugs doing that. That wasn't mama doing that. And I had to answer this question of why was I so mad at my mom? And that question burned in my brain for years. I could not figure it out. Like, DeVorge, why are you so mad? What is it? And one day I was talking to my younger self and he told me he lost his best friend because my mom had me when she was 15. She was my best friend. We grew up together. And the version of her that I loved and that I knew so well, drugs snatched away without asking me, would you rather lose this version of your mom? So she left the house. my best friend one day and came back different. And I was mad that she made the choice to do something in her life for her. I can see it now that it had nothing to do with me, but she did something that took a version of her that I loved away without asking me. It was a horrible thing for me because I had to relearn a new version of my mom. So I was reluctant to do that. I just wanted my friend back. So that is what the younger version of me was crying about. He just wanted his best friend back. You ever lost your best friend? That was my mom. So when the drugs came through and did what it did, I lost that version, and the younger version of me was frozen in time, and he was crying. He was trying to figure out what's wrong, but he did not understand. And that was the first step to me fixing or starting the process of understanding my mom and trying to fix this turmoil, this bad energy we had, because I love her. But what I had to do was receive her where she is now and still love this version and understand she didn't do it on purpose. To take that a step further, I was also mad that I never knew the person. I couldn't even put a face to the name or a face to the situation of the person that did this. So in my mind, I was so mad that this version of my mom was gone. And two, I would never know the person that took that $10 to $20 and changed, that just put it in his pocket, but he changed my mom's whole life. So that's how you get to these questions and realize, what are you mad at? What's really going on? That's why trauma is important to acknowledge, because I'm not complete without my recognition of what I've been through. It doesn't help you understand, and you're missing pieces if you're not brave enough to take that journey. And if you can't walk alone, it's fine. Get you somebody you can trust. Told you, conversation's gonna get deep. They're gonna get real. You don't get to this understanding, or you cannot even start this journey without asking why. If you're not curious on why you do what you do, why you eat what you eat, why you go to places you go, what makes you so comfortable in these places, everything stems from something. And that's the way to start the conversation, to realize nothing comes from nothing. If a person is always angry, it's a reason why. Everything is cause and effect. Nothing just pops up out of nowhere. Once you become comfortable with that realization of reality, you can start to question things like, why do I do this? Why am I like this? Why do I get mad when this happens? Why is this this? It helps you further investigate on why you are who you are. And my question typically more than often is, you're not curious? So you just living on autopilot. I just can't do that. Because if you don't know why, you're riding passenger seat in your own life. If you let life drive you, you're gonna end up in unknown destinations. Hello. If you are not investigating why you were, you cannot fully appreciate how you are, because you're missing pieces. I had to find out what was missing so I could become more complete. I just want to be complete. Complete in my understandings, complete in my experiences, complete in my acceptance that I've been through things, that things impact me, complete in my logic. I just want to be complete. That doesn't mean you're trying to be 100%. That just means you're aware of everything that you've been through and why you are this and why you are that. So the word completeness is starting to mean more and more to me. If I don't do nothing else, I want to be complete. Ain't no such thing as perfection, but it's a such thing as completeness. And completeness does not mean that everything is good. It's the bad shit too. It's the stuff you don't like. It's the variety bag of chips. In life, you eat up all the bags that you like, all your favorite ones, and you're left with the ones that you only eat when you're really hungry. So when you're really hungry to understand who you are, you go grab that bag of chips that you might not like, but you know is necessary for your nourishment of your understanding. Hello. Them original Lays hidden today. When you want to start to attack trauma, I want you to be brave. It's going to put you in a space of vulnerability. It's going to put you in a space where you almost want to judge it and change everything. You can't change what happened. You can only review and accept. Because if you don't accept it, you become a constant victim, and it becomes your constant reality. When you keep reliving it and reliving it and reliving it, it never has a chance to become your past. Oh, it never has the chance to become your past when you keep remaking it your future. You have to forgive yourself and forgive the people that hurt you. Not saying forget the moment, but forgive the emotion that's tied to the moment. Come on. I had to take a lap on that one. We finna step on some toes real quick. Here it is. In my mind, family is a verb. Family is something you do, is a direct action of consideration and empathy and betterment. People get confused. You have relatives But relatives are not automatically family. I've seen so many people go through hell out of the perspective of, oh, this is my family, I have to do things. No, you don't have to do anything. And I came to this logic when I started to realize my family was treating strangers better than they treated their own relatives. You dig what I'm saying? That's what made me start really thinking and really digesting the thought of, okay, let me see y'all as people first. I cannot let family overshadow who you are as a person. Family is an action. It's not something that's ordained automatically, and it doesn't have a sense of obedience to it. To be family, you got to respect me, and I respect you the same way. But you don't automatically get to put me in a space of discomfort out of just the perspective of being family because we're related. Relatives will get you because they make you feel like you owe them something, like you have to deal with them. No. If you don't do me right, I can respectfully decline and keep my peace and my harmony over here. That'll save you a whole bunch of space in your mind. When you realize you're not tied to these people, you're tied to action. Treat me like family, you will be as such. But you act as an associate, I will label you as such. Come on now. You cannot be afraid to put people where they want to be. If I want somebody to be a CEO and they have the work ethic and the mindset of a janitor, that's what they're gonna be. I cannot will you to where I think you should be. I have to accept where you are in life. And I don't want you to feel away. Hey, stop playing with me, man. I don't want you to feel away because you don't take no shit from people. Family gotta show me something. We ain't gotta see eye to eye, but what you're not gonna do is bring detriment in my life just because you family. And that's what I see a lot of people doing. Oh, I gotta do this. They put me they don't appreciate me. Okay, then move around then. Tell their ass no. I love the word no because it lets you know who only assumes that you would tell them yes. Hello. So many people got you in a space in life where you can't tell them no. And the first time you tell them no, you'll think you took their social security card and ran it up. That dog don't hunt, that fish don't swim, and that bird can't fly. So we done with that. I had to demote a lot of family to relatives. As we get to our last parts, the words I want us to establish is boundaries. And I want you to be okay with exercising your boundaries because people will learn how to treat you based on how much you bend and shift on your boundaries. The first time you give your boundaries up, oh, that person won. Oh, okay, bet. I know they're gonna fold. You gotta stand on something or you'll fall for anything. Remember this. Everybody ain't family. More than often, people are relatives. Family is a blessing. Family is a cherished thing. Family is a luxury to have. Everybody's not a luxury to have in your life. They do things to put you in better places. And stop handing out your family card so easily because you have to accept people where they are. And what we cannot do is dress them up with a costume of family and it's hiding all this other shit that you don't even rock with. In conclusion, was the journey of uncovering what I've been through and how it affects me directly as a man today easy? No. Was it the most rewarding thing and the most thing that propelled me to the version I am today? Yes. Was it necessary? Yes. And I don't want you to ignore the necessary places you have to go. Some things you're not gonna like to do. And it's not gonna be easy, it's not gonna be simple, and it's not gonna be done in a day. But you have to be willing to sacrifice that level of being uncomfortable, knowing that it's freedom at the end, and that freedom is understanding. I can pass these lessons to y'all because, yeah, they might bring me to tears sometimes, but that's more so I'm happy now because I get it. I saw what was going on, so I can pass these lessons on to somebody else that might be confused. I can use them as a tool. They start to become a tool for y'all. I can lend them to somebody else that might be struggling with that reality, that never thought they can say or think these things. No, you do what you need to do. I've been through it. I'm not afraid to share my experiences to give you a little bit of inspiration and pep talk and prepare you for your own journey of self-discovery. That's what we do here. We love each other. We challenge each other. You know why you subscribed? You didn't subscribe for just some regular stuff. We subscribe so we can heal. We're healing together. So I'm thankful, I'm grateful. Whatever you go through, you go through. Come on now. But also, whatever you go through, you get through. Come on now. Whatever you go through, you get through. Talk to me, baby.